So hello and welcome back to the next episode where I have a goal for today and it might not be achievable, but I'm going to see what I can get done. So essentially the problem right now is that my storage space is just not sufficient for where I'm at in the game. It's done great so far, but it's a little messy at this point, a little out of hand, especially with the amount of prismarine crystals and shards. Like, these shulker boxes are all full, in addition to everything that's in all of these chests. I have netherrack in my chest that is supposed to be for glass. I have just dirt randomly in my stone chest. I think it's time to make a new storage area. And now that I no longer have neighbors down here, it seems like this would be the perfect place to just build a little bit of a storage expansion. And I've gone ahead and done a little bit of work dropping this down a little bit just to help with the design, kind of make things easier, and it gives me an extra block for an additional chest. And what I would like, and this is the part that I don't know whether it is achievable or not, is I want to try and make an automatic sorting storage system. Now, I have the one in the Nether that I have made before, but each line of chests only does one item type. And that would take an absolutely massive amount of space to do for my overall storage, just from the amount of stuff that I have. So I have been trying to learn for like the past 2 weeks how to make a multi-item storage system using redstone. And I'm still struggling with it, but I want to go ahead and get one section of the storage room built, because I'm going to, along this wall, make a storage area that is just for prismarine shards and prismarine crystals. So I started out by filling my wall with chests so that I could make sure everything lined up right. I then cleared out a space behind the wall for the redstone. Once I had some space, I put hoppers going into every chest. Next, I made a T-shape behind the hoppers. I went out by 3 blocks and a 4th on the next level down. So after placing a line of comparators pointing away from the hoppers on top of the first block, I added a row of hoppers pointing into the comparators, and then covered the rest of the platform with redstone dust. I actually wasn't the most efficient with this, but it's an easy fix. Underneath the 3rd block, I needed to place redstone repeaters, which is where I wasn't efficient. I had to break my last line of redstone so I could reach. The repeaters needed to point into the bottom block of my T-shape there. The last redstone bit was to place redstone torches on the side of the block facing the hoppers. So then my actual final step was to place filter blocks into the top line of hoppers. These are just renamed items, and I placed one in all of the hopper slots except for the first one in each hopper. The first slot will end up holding 41 of an item before starting to fill the hoppers and chests below it. And after I say that's the final step, it's not. I don't have an input spot yet. After I figured out where I wanted my input hopper, I just dug a straight line back. I probably went further back than I needed to, but I wanted to make sure none of my redstone for the elevator would interfere with my sorting system. I added one more line of hoppers along the top of my hopper wall as the input line. After adding a column of droppers facing up, I had to clear out some additional space around it for the redstone. This redstone is actually fairly simple. Now watch how I mess it up. A comparator needs to point out of the bottom hopper and into a block. Another block with a redstone torch on the side needs to go to the right of the first block. On the other side of the two blocks, the first one gets a torch and the second one gets a comparator pointing away from the block. And this is mistake number 1. On the next block back, I place 2 hoppers facing into each other. When the system is running, the 2 hoppers will send an item back and forth, but it doesn't need to be placed in yet. The last step is a redstone torch tower, just alternating between a block and a torch on its side. Again, very simple, and yet I messed it up and remade the whole system, which allowed me to find mistake number 1 and fix it at least. I eventually got it finished and moved on to the other wall. So, as you can see, I now have 2 walls of chests. So, this wall back here has the automatic sorter. The input is right here. So this wall is all fully automated. I just put whatever I need to into the chest and it'll filter through. This wall is not automated. I have moved everything down here. It is more or less organized the way I would have it if I had been able to get this fully automated. More or less. Like, there's some holes in the, like, this is a mess. But, the stone's organized. These are organized. So overall, it's a lot better. I just had to fill it manually because I could not figure out the automated system. The one part of this that is automated is this chest up here at the top that's getting my gold, iron, and copper. That chest is connected to the blast furnace upstairs. I have reorganized and redesigned up here a little bit. This wall is pretty empty, but I have an idea that I think is going to be the plan for next episode of something to fill it. I would have loved to be able to get this automated, and I will hop over into my creative world where I was trying to figure this out to show you what my issue is. But at least for now, it's all organized, and I overestimated the space that I would need because I have empty chests. But that's okay because I'm probably going to get a whole lot more stuff. So this is over in my creative world where I was trying to figure out an automatic sorter for this wall. And the issue that I was running into, which I realize now it's not fully set up to show you, is this line of hoppers would go into this dropper. See, I have amethyst clusters in there now. They just sit there. They don't actually go up the elevator to get into the system. So I tried a different power source, I guess, for the dropper. This is the one that I used over on my system over here. And that didn't change anything. So essentially, if this was the first one in line, if I took this torch off, then it would cycle up, but it wouldn't do that if the torch was there. And then even then, when it would get to the top, it would get stuck in this dropper rather than going up into this one that would feed into the hopper system. So I know I have at least 2 issues with it, but I have not been able to figure out where exactly my issue is in all of this. If you have any ideas of what my issue might be, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. I would greatly appreciate it. So thank you all for watching. Like, subscribe, ring the bell, all those things you all already know about, and I will see you next time. Bye.